What's up, y'all? Wow. Okay, so here I am sharing my haul from my trip to Japan. Um, I'm gonna try to keep this brief. I got a bit of stuff to show. Um, which amazingly, I went there pretty much without spending money. Luckily, I was able to get a little something. Plus, of course, the wife's gonna let me borrow some money while we're there to get some stuff. So, anyway, man, the trip was amazing. That really is an understatement. It was, it's hard to even put into words, and I'm still kind of coming down from the high of that trip. The best vacation ever, pretty much. I have so much I would love to share about the trip, and for that reason, I'm gonna try to keep this strictly to just showing you these hauls, and I want to do a whole separate vlog. I mean, I want to. I don't know when I'll get around to it. But I want to do a whole separate vlog, just even if it's a brief, but like really just talking about the trip and my experience in Japan, which I know I mentioned it in a haul or vlog before leaving for the trip, but if I didn't explain, I mean, there's not much to explain. I mean, it was first time ever going to Japan. So it was really a totally different experience. It was probably, as far as vacations and taking trips go, whether in or out of the country, it was probably the most different, unique vacation experience I've ever had. So anyway, like I said, I want to try to keep this strictly to these hauls. Again, I didn't really have money to spend, so now, obviously, you know me as a toy collector. So you would imagine, with all the toys, import goodness, Japanese import goodness and all that stuff that I would have access to while they're in Japan, I would go nuts. But, unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. If it were another time and I was a baller-ass collector and had the money to burn, maybe, hopefully, in a future trip there. But I was able to get a little something and a few other little somethings and a few little somethings for the bros. So, on top of just the amazing experience, I'm happy with it. So anyway, all right. So first up, just a few little knickknacks. I didn't get to eat McDonald's while I was there, but my daughter did. My daughter and my nephew. I was kind of on a mission at the time. We were in a mall. I forget what the mall was called, but it was where the life-size Gundam was. So while I went on my own mission to go check out the Gundam base store, my kiddo and nephew, along with my wife and sister-in-law, they were having a little something at McDonald's. But I saved this Happy Meal box because it's pretty cool. I was surprised. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was actually surprised to see, it was different. It was unique. And along with the Super Mario toys, they had a couple other options. I guess it's kind of similar to. At first, I was surprised, but then I realized I guess it's similar here. How they have sometimes they have options for girls and boys toys. I guess they have options. It's not necessarily for girls, but these books were a separate option from the Super Mario toys. I guess if you're not interested. So there's that, and just some random knickknacks. This was a photo from a restaurant we ate at. They actually take your photo and print it out for you. They print one for every person here, so that was pretty cool. And that was a good meal. Everything. Oh, okay. I'll say that again. I want to really reserve my thoughts and experience in Japan for a vlog. But oh man, the food was amazing. It's like random things picked up, like from brochures to stuff like that. Lots of we took the train everywhere, and there's stuff like this in the train stations. I don't really know what they're about. I can't read Japanese, but you know, pretty cool. This was a temple we went to. That was a really cool experience. So there, that's those things. Okay, let me move these out of the way and jump right into these. So before I share, so this is my stuff. I want to share a couple other things. So there's some stuff that's not here to share because basically just food stuff. Some it already got put away in the pantry and or we opened and or ate them all already. So, but just some stuff. Different flavored Kit Kats. They pretty much had like a countless amount of unique Kit Kat flavors. Again, if money were an object, we probably would have brought a lot more. Actually, it wasn't just the money. We kind of overpacked and only had so much space to spare in our luggages, so that was kind of bad planning on our part. If we ever do go again, hopefully, knock on wood, I need to find some wood to knock on, but knock on wood, we do get a chance to go again. Anyway, better planning next time. But these, oh man, these Royce potato chip chocolate, I mean, basically chocolate covered potato chips. Man, this is good stuff. I love chocolate covered like everything. So, there's this Ichiran, this restaurant, this ramen restaurant, which, man, it was the best, most legit bowl of ramen I've ever had. Man, it was so good. But what's cool is this particular restaurant offers their ramen in an instant version. I think the box contains, I think it's, I'm assuming that means it has 5 packs of the stuff in there. Now, just like any instant ramen or cup noodles, it's not going to look like that. That's how it looks if you add all the necessary ingredients. It's pretty much just going to be the noodles and like sauce or seasoning. But all that other stuff to really make it legit, you know, the onions, the beef or pork or whatever, you know, meat of choice and or eggs and stuff. Yeah, you got to add that to really make it the good stuff. Now, moving on. So, there's a store that was recommended to us that we thought we weren't going to get to go to. I don't know if it says, no, I don't know if it has a logo on here. Don Quixote. I don't see the logo on the bag anywhere. Well, it says right there on the. So I wanted to show this just because for foreigners, they offer tax-free, and this applies to other stores. They offer tax-free, usually with a minimum amount spent, like around 5,000 yen or so. With the exception of you have to, and you sign a document that gets put into your passport that you promise not to open the goods, use, consume, or whatever, while in Japan. They have to remain sealed, and I wanted to show this. It's not a sealed bag anymore, but it was a sealed bag. Just to give you an example, if you've never been to Japan, or you know, so yeah. Anyway, here's some more examples of like snacks and food items. Nestle, I believe this is milk tea, which my wife, I was like, I could pass on it, but my wife insisted. She really wanted to get it for me. Some Pocky. And, oh, this is real milk tea. I don't know if this is if this is something else. Anyway. Now, truth be told, some of this stuff, like Kit Kats, if you have Asian markets, you might find some of this stuff in your local Asian markets. But, you know, we were there, so we were like going to get what we could while we were there. Some more. Some instant noodles. More instant noodles. Oh, this giant caplico from Glico. It really tastes like ice cream. It was so good. Had to get one to bring home. Some socks. Some little candies. I think this is going to be a gift for a friend. And more instant noodle goodness. Now, moving on. That was all. This is kind of like the shared stuff that my wife got for us. Now on to stuff that I got. This is from 7-Eleven. From Dad. Man, okay. I want to try not to ramble too much about this. I mean, like I said, it was just an amazing experience. But the convenience stores in Japan, 7-Eleven, and I think I have a bag here from another one, Daily Yamazaki, which at first, the first few times I went in this store, I didn't realize it wasn't 7-Eleven because they look identical. But that's what the 7-Eleven bags look like in Daily Yamazaki. Oh, the convenience stores are amazing. The amount of food, like fresh food in there, is like 10 times more than what we have here in the U.S. And so much good stuff. So anyway, just some snacks. These are actually for the bros. What else? Oh, so this was actually the first like piece of merchandise I got, and I at the time I didn't know if I would be getting anything more than this. So anyway, this is when we went to see the life-size Gundam. Again, I forget what the name of the mall was, but it was in Diver City, and I went to the Gundam-based store, which hopefully by the time this gets posted, I'll have posted some clips. If not here on YouTube, there will definitely be more on Instagram, on my IGTV, and of course pics on the SME Toys Instagram. But anyway, my wife gave me money. She said, you know, you're going to the Gundam store, knock yourself out. Now, the thing is, most of the merchandise there is really just like model kits and stuff. You know, aside from the robot spirits, there really isn't, you know, an action figure line. But something that was even cooler for me, which, you know, I'm big into the graphic tees. There was a store called Strict G within the Gundam-based store that was all, holy crap, if I had more money to burn, I would have gotten so much more. It was all like clothing and fashion that was with Gundam stuff. So anyway, I just got this cool kind of artistic take on the RX 78-2 classic Gundam. So, you know, it's my one takeaway, aside from just seeing the life-size Unicorn Gundam in person, which, you know, was amazing, which I didn't even think I was going to be able to do, and my wife made it happen, so, you know. Pretty pricey, though. This came out to about $32 or so, I think. So I normally would not pay that much for a shirt. And for my wife, she was like, you know, that's okay. You know, that's what you chose. But for me, you know me, I love my graphic tees, but I rarely would pay even $20 for a shirt. It has to be really special. And this kind of qualified for that. So anyway, we went to Tokyo Disney Sea, and I got one little Tomica car, just to kind of get a... They had different... Now, I bought this before we even rode any rides. I should have gotten... We rode the Nemo and Friends Sea Rider, which in the ride, you're like riding... I think that's... Yeah, that's... You're riding this... I forget what kind of fish it is. This vehicle. I should have gotten that, but I got this before we rode the ride, and I didn't have money to burn to get another. They actually had a Tomica one of this, and they had a few other Tomica cars from the Disney Resort, but this one is still pretty cool. Nice little souvenir, I guess you can call it. And then some stuff I personally bought at Don Quixote. Uh, some Dragon Ball, I think it's like snack and sticker or something. Those are for the bros. This is for a bro. My bro Jake, he went to Japan a couple years back and he got me some socks, so I'm returning the favor with his favorite, Captain America. Pokemon instant noodles, some Super Mario snackage, and a couple of Tomica cars, which these my wife got for me. This is actually I think my third. This is definitely something I always wanted, an army build. In previous trips to the Philippines, I'd gotten 2 others separately on 2 different trips, and I always wanted one more for a third, so I finally got that. And I had to get, there was all kind, we rode the bullet train, which was an awesome experience. We actually rode it a couple times, and I was like, I need a bullet train toys, and there was no shortage of toys, but I decided to go with a Tomica one, just because of the fact that, well, it was kind of budgetary constraints as well. Hopefully we ever go back. There's other ones I will get next time, but yeah, great addition to the Tomica collection, and souvenir of the bullet train. Winding on down here, a few more Tomicas. These were actually from the airport. This was a toy store, so we were leaving already, and somebody had bought something off of me on eBay, so I had a little money to spend at the very end with my PayPal debit card. So I got some more Tomicas. Really cool. I'd never seen these before. I totally want to get more of these if I find, maybe on the next trip. I'm sure we'll be going to the Philippines sometime long before we get to go to Japan again. Hopefully I'll find some more of those. This too. And a little blind box of Kinnikuman, Muscle Man. Some of you might be familiar with from the 80s. And then last but not least, this was actually after this was my second purchase, and I thought this was gonna be like one and done. This was gonna be all I was gonna get, and it's cool that I was able to get all these other things. But this was at a store called Bic Camera, BIC. It's kind of like, I don't know what to compare it to. It's a department store. There's really, I mean, the closest thing I guess you can compare it to, stateside would be like Walmart or Target, but it's totally different. If you're Filipino and you're familiar with SM, in the SM department store in the Philippines, that's the best way I can compare it. It's a lot like a Japanese SM department store. So anyway, this was my one purchase that I was spending my money on. And at the time, I forgot how much this translated to, about 30 something, less than $40. I was like, hell's yes. Of course there was more that I would have gotten if I had the money to burn and stuff. But if I had to get one thing to spend my money on, I said, fuck it. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to shop anymore. So I grabbed this, but my wife was like, pick something. It'll be from me. Pick one more, and these things, they're not pricey, but she let me pick, and she's like, whichever one of those. I was looking at the S.H.Figuarts, and they mostly had Star Wars, only 2 Marvel ones. It's like, whichever one you want the most, go ahead and pick it. And I chose Rey. So these make my first S.H.Figuarts Star Wars figures. Not bad. Man, this thing looks amazing. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna love these, and I'm definitely gonna want more Star Wars S.H.Figuarts. But I'm glad for now that I got these. Who knows when I'll get more. And again, so glad I was able to get all this other stuff in addition. So there you have it. Hopefully we'll come back with a vlog sharing my thoughts and my experience in Japan. More than anything, though, I gotta thank my wife. She made the trip happen. On top of how amazing the experience was, you know, and how grateful I am to her for that. You know, she lent me money for you know, this other stuff. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks so much for watching.